So one of the first things that I suggest you to do is, for the next 7 to 10 days, you're going to start working on your dog, training and practicing. Your goal is not to go for a walk. I know your dog has to go for a walk, has to go to do its business, and you need to take your dog for a walk. But your goal for the next 7 to 10 days is not to walk your dog. It's to improve the walk. And the way you're going to focus on that is, first of all, you're going to practice at home, not out there. If your dog is reactive, if pulling you on the leash while walking, that means you need to work on your dog inside of the house first in order for you to be able to control it outside of the house. So you need to take some steps. You need to accomplish a level before you move to the next level. So what you're going to do is you're going to start playing with your dog and training your dog in the house where there's no distractions, in order to gain some control over our dog, so we can help our dog to be a bit calmer when going out. That's the goal. We want to make sure that our dog is calm before going out. So one of the things that I suggest you to do is to practice calmness and well behavior and management with your dog, is focus on going back to basics and practicing basic commands with your dog. Every day practice with them for 15 minutes, the sit, the stay, the calm, the heel, and all these commands. And then after 15 minutes of training, try to take them for a walk. See if you're going to get better results. We're going to work inside of the house. So we have to train our dog to learn to calm down inside of the house. So for now, I'm going to use Elliot to see if he's going to cooperate with me. So as you can see, he's not that excited, right? So he's calm. So this is the energy that you want to have in your dog before going out. If you don't get this energy before you open the door, you wait until you get this energy. You can teach your dog to calm down. There are several ways that you can teach and practice that. One of them is, Elliot, this way. Elliot, sit. Stay. That's one way. Okay, teaching your dog to sit and stay, which sit and stay calms your dog down. So that helps you to calm your dog down before you opening the door. So your first challenge or first homework is to help your dog to calm down. So for the first few days, that would be your homework, to help your dog to calm down. Just practice before going out of the door. Second of all, if you see that your dog is pulling on the leash, here's a technique that I want you to use. So for example, you see now Elliot is pulling on the leash, right? So I'm going to pull the leash to the side. I'm going to bring back Elliot to me. I'm going to say sit, stay. Okay? So the goal here is that we want to teach our dog that if you pull on the leash, first of all, we don't go anywhere. Second of all, I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to ask you to do something that you know. So here we go again. He's on the go, right? I'm going to let him go. Just pull the leash to the side and bring your dog. Elliot, sit, stay. That's all you're doing. You're gently pulling the leash to the side and bringing your dog to you, and you're asking your dog to sit and stay. So he broke the sit and stay. I'll say no. So our correction word, our correction cue word is no. So he knows no means I broke a command or I did something wrong. So he corrects himself. So no has become the correction word. And then I'm going to practice calmness with my dog. So I'm going to walk him. I'm going to walk him. So Elliot, no. Pull the leash to the side. Bring your dog back to you. Elliot, sit. Stay. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. So that's all you're doing. So the way you're teaching your dog to be calm and relaxed is, Elliot, no. Pull the leash to the side. I just said no. Elliot, no. Pull the leash to the side. Elliot, no. Pull the leash to the side. Elliot, sit. Stay. Good boy. That's the steps that you need to take. Ask dog's name. Tell it no. Pull the leash to the side gently. Bring your dog to you. Tell it to sit and stay, which they know. if they know, and then relax, and then try it again. So I repeat this over and over until I have a dog who's paying attention to me fully 100% and is calm and relaxed before we go out. So this is a tip that is going to change the way your dog is going to react when you're outside walking your dog. So this has to be done before you go out. There are many reasons why dogs pull on the leash, but if you understand why is it that dogs pull on the leash in the first place, then we can solve this problem completely. Number one reason why dogs pull on the leash is because dog owners don't leash train their puppy in the first place. Leash training a puppy is a must. Teaching a dog not to pull on the leash starts from the time that they are a puppy. And one of the biggest mistakes that dog owners make is that they off-leash their puppy too early or when the puppy is not ready to be off-leashed. You see, dogs in general, they need a lot of structure, a lot of security, a lot of understanding of what is going on in the human world, in our human society, in the city especially, how to live, what to do, what not to do, how to socialize, how to deal with the smells, sounds, and the situations that are happening. And the worst thing that you can do to a puppy is off-leashing it too early. Most puppy owners also find it hard to walk their dogs on a leash, therefore they off-leash their puppy too early. I usually suggest to keep your puppy on a leash for the first year of their lives. It could be a little bit challenging, a little bit hard, but it pays off at the end. So the reasons that I suggest you not to off-leash your puppy for the first year are as follows. This is the time that you are going to bond with your dog. It takes time to bond with any individual. It doesn't happen within weeks or months. It takes almost a year to bond with anybody, any creature, and especially when it comes to your puppy. You also want to keep your puppy safe and secure for a year. This is the time that it's very fragile for a puppy. It's very sensitive. Everything can be spooking your dog. Anything can be scaring your dog. Your puppy could get into things. It's very unsafe when a puppy is let loose and off leash too early. It becomes a safety matter. Also, for a year, you want to keep your puppy under control. You want to make sure that your dog understands that the human is in control and you're able to control your puppy for the first year at least. You see, naturally animals, mamas, papas, they don't let their puppies or pups or babies to go off leash very soon. They keep them safe at least for the first year or two or longer. They keep them with them under their wings for a long time to make sure that the puppy or their baby is going to survive, because this is their next generation. It's very important to keep that pup alive and safe and secure. But when it comes to humans, the first thing, or one of the first things that dog owners do is they off-leash their puppy. They put their puppy at risk and they don't think about security or safety. The other reason is you want to learn to communicate to your dog, and you want your dog to learn to communicate with you, which is also, it takes time. It takes a long time. It takes a year to learn how to communicate with your dog. And leash is not a tool that makes you to feel bad about your dog, confining your dog. It's a tool that helps you to build that communication system with your dog. And the other reason that I suggest you to keep your puppy on leash for a year, at least the first year, is because you learn about your dog. It takes time to learn about somebody or someone or a creature, or especially when it comes to your dog. You have to learn from your dog. For example, what are the things that can cause fear in your puppy? What are the things that your puppy is sensitive about? It takes time for you to learn those. For example, a whistle of a human can scare a dog, or something like a visual can cause fear in a dog. For example, a man with a hat or a man with a stick can scare a dog. You don't know these things until you come across them, and it takes almost a year to know these things, to learn and expose your puppy until your puppy is exposed to all kinds of things for you to learn what your puppy is sensitive about or not. And the last thing why I suggest you to not to off-leash your puppy for a year is you want to bulletproof the training. This is very important. It takes also a year to train your dog. That includes the obedience, it includes lifestyle training, it includes the leash walking. You want to make sure that your dog understands how to walk on a leash. So my suggestion is, if you want to have a good dog off leash, you have to have a good dog on a leash. So based on my experience that I have worked with thousands of dogs, most of the dogs are pulling on the leash when we walk them. And the main reason is because all of these dogs have been off-leashed too early, too soon. Is your dog one of those dogs who's pulling on the leash? And when was it that you decided to off-leash your dog? When did you decide to off-leash your dog and why? So remember, the reasons why we keep the puppy on leash for the first year is not to intimidate the puppy or make them feel bad or make yourself feel bad. It's all about parentship, being considerate and thinking about the dog, not us. Yes, having a dog off leash and letting them run around and have a good time, it's fun. But we have to consider, what is it safe? What can we do to make this safe and fun? So in order for you to allow your dog to have fun, here's another tip. So keep your dog on leash as much as you can and only off leash your puppy when your puppy is playing with other dogs in a safe environment. Once the play or the game stops, you put your dog on a leash and you walk out of that environment. I'm going to show you a simple game that you can play with your dog where it's going to help you to improve the walk. I always suggest, in order to improve your dog's walk, to prepare and practice everything that you need to do at home or in an environment that is calmer and more suitable to teach the dog and expect the dog to learn, rather than on the walk or at the park or wherever that your dog is misbehaving and is pulling you on leash. So practice these games at home before you get into the park or on the street or wherever you go for a walk, and then expect your dog to give you the behavior that you want. By playing simple games, you can improve your dog's walk. And the game that we're going to play today is very simple. All you're going to need is few plywoods, few woods, rope, anything that you can create some boundaries for your dog. You're going to need also your dog's leash and a collar as well. You're going to start with playing this game using the leash first, and then as your dog gets better and progresses, then you can start doing off leash. Today I have Sky with me, and she's going to show us and help me to demo this game with you. So all you're going to do first is you're going to put your dog on leash and start. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the ropes or the plywoods, I have a 2x4s here, in line. So the purpose of the game is to lead the dog to walk in between them. This is the easy step. This is part one, so it's not that hard. So you're going to start with the basics, and then you're going to start making it harder and harder for your dog. And we're going to make it a little bit more challenging as well. So start with this and get going with your dog. So games like this, in general, when you're playing games or when you're training your dog, I don't suggest you to involve any form of treats or food. All you want to do is engage with your dog, have a good time, play with your dog, and this is a very interesting, very beneficial game for you and your dog. This is also a game that is very stimulating mentally and physically. It's very simple games. Simple games for dogs can make it very beneficial. Doesn't have to be too complicating or too fancy-mancy. Simple games like this can not only stimulate your dog mentally and physically, can improve their lives as well. So Sky, so you're just going to lead your dog to walk between them. That's all. That's all you're gonna do. Sky, this way. So you're gonna start by letting your dog to go between them. So once you practice this and your dog gets better and better, then you can narrow it, make it narrower, and then ask your dog to walk between them. Sky, this way. Sky, walk. There we go. The idea here is, if we can control and manage our dogs and give directions to do simple things like this and play simple games like this, how are we supposed to control our dogs at the parks where there's more distractions? So as you can see, I'm making it a little bit more difficult for my dog. So Sky, walk. So you see now she's having a hard time. Don't worry, just guide. There you go. Good girl. Yes. Yes. Good girl. Yeah. Yes. And try it again. Sky, walk. I know it sounds like Skywalk from Star Wars, but it's basically Sky. I'm telling her to walk. Guide her. There we go. Yes. Very good. You don't have to, again, use treats or anything like that. If it's hard, just guide and control and manage. Good girl. And just practice it a few times until it gets better. You know, the first few times is going to be the hardest part. And this is a game that I use when we are doing leash walking classes, workshop that I do. We play this game, and most dogs and dog owners have a hard time playing this game because they see that their dog is not doing it, so they give up. So don't give up. Control, manage, get involved with your dog, encourage your dog to go through this. If we can't control this, how can we control outdoor environment? So try it until your dog gets really good at it. So Sky, so I'm going to try one more time with the leash. There we go. Good girl. Yes. Yes. Now, if you feel that your dog is getting the point, you can try off leash. Sky, come here. Good girl. Yes. Come on. Come on. Yes. Good girl. Yeah. Yes. And try it again. Sky, here. Come on. Sky. There we go. Yes. Good girl. See, in the beginning it was challenging, and then she got better at it. So practice this, make it as hard as you can, and challenge your dog. These games like this, simple games like this, can improve your dog's behavior and the walk. Heel command is a command that basically we ask our dog to walk right beside us. Heel command is a command that it lasts maybe a minute. It doesn't last longer than that. In my opinion, there are two reasons why we use heel. One of them is, let's say if I'm walking with my dog and I see an older lady or someone who doesn't like dogs and they hate dogs. There are people who hate dogs, believe it or not. So I don't want my dog to bother that person, right? So I'm going to call my dog to heel so we can pass that person, and then I'm going to release my dog back to free on loose leash. So that's one of the reasons that I like to use. The other one would be, for example, if I go to a store or outdoor market and there are food and things are involved, kids or all kinds of stuff, and I want my dog just to walk beside me when I'm inside the store, or I'm walking by the tables. I want my dog to nicely just walk beside me so I can browse around and see what's going on, and then once I'm done, I'm going to release my dog back to free on loose leash. So those are key points of understanding why we're teaching our dogs heel and the uses of. Now I have Harvey with me, and we're gonna show you and teach you how to do the heel command. So the heel command, as any other command, always like to start with the sit command. You're going to shorten the leash comfortably, that it's not too tight and it's not too loose. Somewhere that is nice and comfortable for you to have it, but as long as, again, it's not too tight or too loose. So once you figure it out the height, you're going to lock it, you're going to release, you're going to say Harvey, heel, then you're just going to move with your left leg. There we go. So then praise your dog. Good boy, yes. Good boy. You see, when you have in an ideal length, your dog is going to cooperate with you. Good boy, Harvey. Good boy, yes. Good boy. Good boy. Reward your dog. Good boy, Harvey. Come on. And then you can go back to loose leash. Okay? So basically that's how you're teaching your dog. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. This way. Yeah. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So that's how fun it should be. Okay? This is Annie, my own dog, and she tends to pull on the leash, right? She's always at the end of the leash. So how do we solve this problem? So I'm gonna give you some solutions. This is not your average dog training or dog trainer tip, but one thing that you have to understand is when it comes to your dog who's pulling on the leash, the solution is not to force the dog to walk like this. Right? This is what you want. You want your dog to walk like this, but you're forcing the dog to walk beside you, which is not natural. It's not normal for a dog who's pulling on the leash.
Yes, I don't want my dogs pulling my shoulder out of its socket by pulling me down like halfway down the street while they're on lead, but I actually don't care as long as my dog is comfortable on the lead and there isn't pulling. I don't care where my dog wants to be. I don't care if they want to be in front of me or behind me or to the side. And certainly from that perspective of like teaching our dogs or expecting our dogs to be right by our side all the time, that's a big ask, and there's actually a lot of pressure on the physical body. The dog's skeletal system is, as a canine, yes, if they're off on a hunt, they may kind of do that heel work if they're off on a hunt, because there's kind of this information of how, almost like how I see it as a flock of birds. When they're on a hunt and they're that aligned and that tight knitted together, they're moving like a flock of birds. But if they're roaming, exercising, having freedom, like if you watch canines move naturally, if you watch street dogs, even just your own dog, as humans we tend to walk in a straight line. That's how we are made as our skeletal system. Dogs naturally are seekers, are foragers, are searchers. They're supposed to move and meander like a river, not in a straight line. So that movement for me is then what freedom are we giving our dogs to move?
So the first clue of having a dog who's pulling on the leash is that your dog is a seeker and explorer. So when you block a dog who's a seeker and explorer, and force it to walk like this, you're going to be causing a lot of physical, mental issues. First in your dog, and also in you, right? You're forcing yourself to get the dog to walk like this, which is not natural. So a seeker and explorer type of dog needs to have that option of seeking and exploring. So the best thing is to loosen up the leash and let the dog just walk. Good girl. right? So you're not forcing yourself to get the dog to walk beside you. The other tip that I have, if you have a dog who's pulling on the leash, first of all, take the time to take your dog to a park that is more suitable for your dog to explore and do its own thing, right? And second of all, invest in a long leash and let your dog to drag the leash. You can hold on to the end of the leash, or you have, if you have a little bit of control over your dog, can let the leash go and just let your dog do its own thing. She's choosing to walk beside me. She has the option of going wherever she wants. Honey, this way. And good girl. And if she gets too far or too out of control, I can step on the leash. Annie, nope. Annie, nope. Come on. Good girl. Here. Here. Yes. So here, she goes crazy. I trust her. You don't have to do this. Annie, stop. Here. And you can step on the leash and control your dog. So this way you're giving the option to the dog to explore and do its own thing. And even if you want, you can even just hold on to the leash and go for a walk. But loose. So this simple mindset, when you start changing the way you approach your dog's walk. Annie, here. Now she has to pee. When you change the approach, you already deal with the problem and you're solving the problem. Let your dog to be on a loose leash and let your dog to do whatever it wants to do. And this way, it can do whatever it wants. So if it wants to do that, you can let your dog do that. If your dog wants to sniff a spot for 5 minutes, that's fine as well. But if I want to correct my dog not to pull on the leash, this is the technique that I use. So if I'm walking and she pulls, nope. Okay, so what I do, I pull the leash to the side and I say no, nope. Right? So what we're doing here is we're redirecting the dog from whatever it's moving towards, and we're asking the dog to refocus on us rather than the subject, right? So there are 3 words that I communicate with my dog when I'm walking. So it's, if my dog is pulling, I say no. If it's doing good, I say good girl. If I want to change direction, I say this way. Good girl. Yes. So that helps the dog to start learning that I need to walk here. I can't go to the end of the leash. So you're teaching your dog that you can't go all the way to the end of the leash. I'm letting my dog to do whatever he wants, yet I'm asking her to walk beside me, and if it doesn't, I say boom, pull the leash to the side, bring back to me the focus, and then I say good girl or good dog, and then we continue. And we're walking. If I need to change direction, I say Annie, this way. Good girl. So I'm giving heads up to my dog that we're changing directions. Right? Now, she's going to get distracted with that dog. She loves dogs. And I'm going to correct her. She didn't get distracted. She was good. It means my training is working. I've been investing time and effort to teach her to not to respond or get reactive to dogs. She loves dogs. Annie, no. She loves dogs and she wants to go and say hi to all dogs. She wants to go and play with them, but I don't want her to do that to all dogs, so I correct her. Some of the benefits of walking your dog is that not only it makes your dog to become a healthy dog, but it makes your dog to help you to become a healthier person. Most health organizations agree that having a dog makes a person a healthier person. That's because dogs force you to get out, walk, and exercise. Having a dog makes you to become healthy in a way that not only makes you to go out and walk, but there are so many other benefits in having a dog. But in this video, I'm going to particularly focus on walking your dog. So there is this phenomenon called earthing or grounding. This is when your body takes advantage of the electrons from the ground, from the earth, and benefits your body from health point of view and mental point of view as well. So there are many benefits when you walk on the ground, but it has to be barefoot. Dogs naturally are barefoot all the time. Their paws are always touching the ground. But in our modern society, where dogs are walking on carpets, indoor houses, and they stay long hours indoors, they are not benefiting from touching the ground. Their paws needs to be touching the ground. So one of the things that you're going to notice when you walk your dog at the park, they are automatically and naturally are going to gravitate towards grass or dirt rather than the asphalt or walk path that exists on the streets or in the park itself. That is because when dogs walk on the ground, on dirt or grass, they feel good. They feel great. It is naturally making them feel great. So we have to learn from our dogs and do the same as well. So I highly recommend you to take off your shoes and walk on the ground with your dog, alongside your dog every day if possible, which is not only healthy from exercise point of view, that you're walking your dog and you're getting a walk, but also you're getting the benefits of grounding or earthing. So dedicate at least 15 minutes a day to walk barefoot if possible with your dog and enjoy the walk. So you both can benefit from this natural phenomenon which is called earthing or grounding. If your dog struggles with reactivity or any behavioral issues, there is a link in the description that you can set up a free video call with me so we can chat about your dog's struggles. I'll see you then.